This is a feminist critique of the short story, Where Are You Going, Where Have You Been by Joyce Oates. The feminist critique of literature focuses on the ways in which literature supports or undermines the political, social, and psychological oppression of women. There have been three waves of feminism. The first wave focused on women's suffrage. The second wave focused on equal work conditions. And the third wave focuses on the problem of overgeneralized ideologies of women and their roles.
One example of patriarchal power is the kitchen. From when Connie went into the kitchen until she left with Arnold's friend, the kitchen transformed into a prison. A dated phrase used to support the patriarchy states that women quote-unquote belong in the kitchen. The kitchen looked like a place she had never seen before. She could not remember what it was, this room. These quotes on pages 7 and 8 illustrate how uncomfortable and trapped Connie feels in a place that was once familiar to her. Another example is Arnold's friend's attitude. Arnold feels entitled. This is conveyed throughout the story from when he told Connie he was gonna get her to when he ordered her to do what he wanted at the end. Quotes such as, "I'm gonna be your friend, honey," and "I don't need to keep my promise," illustrate his privilege and the power he holds.
This particular part of feminist criticism in Oates' short story will explore the concepts of double standards and the difficulty of feminine sexuality. Quote 1. Everything about her had two sides to it, one for home and one for everywhere that was not home. This description of Connie depicts her double personality that caters to the expectations of the people she is with. Her changing traits mirror the societal norm for women to suppress their sexuality, while opposite behavior is condoned in men. This is a double standard. Quote 2. She couldn't decide if she liked him or if he was just a jerk, and so she dawdled in the doorway and wouldn't come down or go back inside. Her fascination yet hesitation are symbolic of the transition into adulthood. The statement foreshadows Arnold's friend's ill intentions and more abstractly symbolizes the danger in society that sometimes is correlated with feminine sexuality. Quote 3. She thought for the first time in her life that it was nothing that was hers, but just a pounding, living thing inside this body that wasn't really hers either. This quote emphasizes the results of forced sexuality and initiation into adulthood. Additionally, it is an appeal to pathos that encourages resentment for Arnold's actions. By emphasizing the results of his abuse, this story is able to convey the hypocrisy of the different expectations for both feminine and masculine sexuality.
There are several instances in which Connie is affected by and participating in vanity culture and feminine beauty standards. Connie is described as having a habit of craning her neck to glance into mirrors or checking other people's faces to make sure her own was all right. Her mother notices this tendency and scolds her for it, commanding her to stop gawking at herself. This quote shows how invested Connie is in her looks and that she seeks validation through her appearance from everyone outside of her house. Connie refuses to listen to her mother when it comes to complaints about her looks. The quote, "She knew she was pretty and that was everything," shows that Connie truly embodies feminine beauty standards and the belief that all women should strive to maintain physical attractiveness. Connie's mother's constant comparison of her and her older sister June shows differing opinions and approaches to feminine beauty standards. In contrast to Connie, who is passionate about her appearance to others, June is a more homely, plain-looking girl. The quote about Connie using hairspray shows that she puts more effort into her looks than her sister, and that June does not take part in vanity culture or typical feminine beauty ideals.
Lastly, we have rape culture. Rape culture can be defined as a sociological concept in which rape is normalized as a result of societal ideals and attitudes about gender and sexuality. Main ideas included in this category would be victim blaming, slut shaming, and sexual objectification. This concept was developed by second-wave feminists in the 1970s. Some criticism would include the debate over the existence or extent of this specific culture. They argue that the concept is too narrow and state that it could imply that the rapist is not at fault, but rather the society is the one that enables it. One example from the text would be, "I'll hold you so tight you won't think you'll have to try to get away or pretend anything because you'll know you can't." Here we can see Arnold's friend using his male dominance over Connie in order to attempt to take advantage of her. The words, "hold you so tight," show that he was restricting Connie against her will. The phrase, "because you'll know you can't," shows that Arnold was trying to express that even if Connie tried to get away, she would not succeed.